job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. It is indeed a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. 949-8037 or 949-6990. Of course, the Flow toll-free line is always available. 1-800-534-8255. And then WhatsApp, 925-3261. It's almost like WhatsApp, but it's WhatsApp. It's going to be some open line for the first few minutes. So we invite you to call and share your thoughts. Let's get things underway. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for calling, sharing, and certainly being a part of what I believe is a wonderful society with great people who want to see a lot better for all of us. Not just today, not just tomorrow, but for generations to come. As we invite you to share with us, 949-8037 or toll free at 1-800-534-8255. Question was asked of me earlier, what is in a name? I thought, well, you know, they say a rose by any other name is a rose, right? I don't know. Well, what's in a name? What does that mean to you? And how important is it? So our country, we were told, through time, eventually went through a few different iterations of his name, and then the Cayman Islands, or as some would say, it's, the Cayman Islands, like the Bahamas. Now, sometimes we like to shorten it in certain ways, and we add a little S to it, and we say it with a particular accent. Now, does that make it more appealing? Does that, sort of infuriate some? Does it invite others to, wow, it's a place that is, regal, majestic, place that conjures up this image of serenity. Now, with that, a fellow said to me, he said, he came back to Cayman. I can't say it quite the way he says it, and we get into that discussion because it comes back to what is in a name. And he said that his grandfather hadn't been back in a long time, and when his grandfather would share stories of his father, this boy's father, as a young teen, back then the country was, well, not as developed as it is now. So a number of decades passed, and the grandfather comes with a grandson, and you see all these changes. And you thought, how is it that a place like this still seems to have this sense of attraction, this almost allure to bring people back year in and year out? Well, maybe we'll share with you as we go to our phones, Miss Susan. Is that our plan? Well, she's the boss. She's in charge. If I listen, I might actually, get in, pay attention. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Well, that's a very important question. You just asked what's in a name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where did Mariam's go?
You if you were at the table this morning in that discussion, you would be where my thought process is.
Or Tim's Point or Long Point.
Mm-hmm.
Or for that matter, something that happened just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, when the sun crossed the line.
Yep.
So I think if we're not cognizant that we need to keep these things boiling up, not only specifically what you're talking about now, but all the rest of Cayman culture and Cayman history, then it's going to get buried at a faster rate. 60 years.
Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing that because, and for the record, which is a good show we have on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you weren't present, and what you were sharing is exactly what the grandfather, the elderly gentleman, was saying, that here he, has now returned to Cayman after a few decades of, not being here, but his family would come, and little places, little names of places, little references to places have disappeared. And just like you said, Tim's Point, Long Point, some of us are here now going, well, what is he talking about? Now, if I could ask you, if it's okay, you got a second. For some of us, names change, places develop, things evolve, things just happen. For those who are listening and not quite making the connection, how do we get them to appreciate that it's not just a change in the name, but potentially is it affecting the psyche of the people?
Well, I think there has to be more what you would call intentional promotion of this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come in here and change this name like you want it to. It has no relation to Cayman. So I think that's the point that has to be driven through continuously. But it's not, and it's and we can go back to the root cause of it all. It is that lots of folks who are or should be doing this really have no sensitivity to these various elements. In fact, they probably have very little connection, so it don't mean anything to them.
Right, and it's something that, as you share, I was, well, let me just try this for a second. That property north of the Kimpton, where there used to be always, a lot of horse burrs. That's my sort of thought of that.
A lot of what you say?
The horse burrs, the big, very, choking birds that you see, right? Not on the beach, just up from the beach. A nice place to swim. Hopefully the ledge is still there. But do you recall in the grass there, in the vegetation, there would be a lot of horse burrs?
There was a lot of horse birds. There was a lot of what we call bay wine, and there was even juniper trees there.
Right.
Juniper and well, there was some cockspur too.
Right, and even before the pond was filled in, I mean, I told us it was
and cocoa plum.
And cocoa plum, yeah, the grapes are still there to some extent. But why I'm asking is that remember challenges coming from the beach and going to the pond, the sea pond that was there, and the fish, especially the big snappers that used to be in there before, was just recently filled in. Having to trek through those horse burrs made the journey kind of, well, it made it well worth the trek through the horse burrs, right?
Yeah, well, I think there's still some horse burrs on the little track down there.
Yeah, man, it's a whole pile.
I mean, I'm not sure how many people are doing a lot of fishing up in there now, but at one time, that was a great fishing spot if you could get to it.
Right.
Because you had to fight the mosquitoes, and you had to push your way through the mangroves, which, they're being destroyed. And,
yep, the pond is filled in.
Yeah.
But the little spot, and when I was thinking of what you shared and what's underneath, now my children and their friends, as we would take them there to explore, they would refer to it as Burr Beach, right? Because of and even now they're only probably a smaller quantity of birds, but it's still huge and they can be quite, prickly, right? Yeah. So will that, be referred to as Burr Beach down the road? Will we find some, beautiful name for it? It's synonymous with some other place across the globe, or will we, as you shared, reflect on the old names and cherish them, celebrate them, make them.
A lot of the names have gone out. Cayman is, if you want to say it, being rebuilt by a lot of people who who have no sensitivity to what was created here by a lot of hard work and a lot of elbow grease and whatever else nomenclature you like to associate with it, and sacrifice.
Yep.
And then someone comes down off this point and want to change everything up. So, no.
But then they're not only allowed to, in a sense, but even openly encouraged by many of us. And when we look at just the pace of development, but also sometimes the advertisement, for attracting development, the incentives that are put not just by governments, but by others.
Again, you go back to the sensitivity of some people who are making these, or who should be, let's say, I don't want to use the word policing, but who should be guiding these processes.
It begs a lot of discussion, and just a simple question of what's in a name really, really comes through. But I always appreciate your insight, and not only that, but your consciousness and the conviction that you have to share publicly. Hopefully more will be encouraged to do so. Any other thoughts you want to leave with us today, sir?
Yeah, well, I think we got to make sure that this national cultural policy that's being promoted, that it tries to cover all these various aspects, and not just on paper, but it has to be manifested in work and in action.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm still looking for a canoe, so let's see what we find, huh?
No, that's cornbread, take a nap.
Talk to you very soon, sir.
Okay.
All right, God bless. All right, with that, let's pause and take a short break. Our schedule says that we're going to have a discussion about the DG 5K. Let's have that. 1:30. We're going to have a chance to talk about the upcoming Gamers Bay Video Gaming Tournament and Technology Convention. See the good things unfold. We get to learn more. So when we come back, we invite you to join us. Stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
I'm going to Vamp Motors to test drive the new 7-seater Rush.
They have some really sweet deals going on now, not true?
Yep, on SUVs. And they sweeten the deal by giving you a warm oven-baked cookie with each test drive.
Better test drive more than one, just to be sure.
Take a test drive for a sweet surprise this month at Vamp Motors. Test drive any SUV and receive a freshly baked cookie. It's our way of saying thanks for dropping by to check out our huge sale on every SUV in stock. Save up to $4,400 during Vamp's summer SUV sale. That's every SUV in stock on sale for thousands off or cash back. Sweeten the deal only at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road.
Your favorite event of the year is here. A.L. Thompson's Home Fest is this Friday and Saturday. Come and take advantage of deep discounts on fans, lights, outdoor furniture, paint, bath and kitchen fixtures, cabinets, windows, doors, and much, much more. Enjoy 15% off on trusted brands like Kohler, Delta, Closet Made, and Valspar. Take up to 20% off KitchenAid and Whirlpool appliances. A.L. Thompson's Home Fest is the place to be this weekend. Don't miss the incredible deals on the trusted brands you love at Home Fest.
Be sure to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 a.m. for The Business Buzz with Sabrina Turner. Brought to you in part by insurance agents Michael Webster and Denise Brown from Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in life and property insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future.
Hey sis, you ready for the new year of high school?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. Like, what if I don't fit in? What if I get bullied? What if I don't make any friends or lose the friends I thought were my friends?
Calm down. You're gonna be just fine. Join a club.
I've been thinking about that youth to youth one.
Girl, let me fill you in. Y2Y is a teen-led club. We organize our own events, have deep discussions on everyday topics. We volunteer in the community and positively impact our peers. And let me not forget, it's a no judgment zone. I have met so many people there.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Can I bring Carson too?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, awesome. I'll be there. For more information on Youth to Youth, visit ndc.ky or call 949-9000.
Dress up or dress down in pink for the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Breast Cancer Awareness Month Dress Pink Day on October 25th. Get your pink items at the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop in Elizabethan Square, which will be open daily from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pink items include t-shirts, polo shirts, hair accessories, caps, and lapel pins. Funds raised from the sale of the pink items go towards paying for mammogram screenings. The Pink Shop is located in the front of Elizabethan Square, facing Shedden Road. Dress pink with the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens on Friday, October 25th.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. And I trust that you will do even as some of us, even when we don't feel like on the outside, we try genuinely to have that smile and a grateful heart on the inside. And I'm honored that we're able to have an opportunity to share with our community the wonderful, charitable, giving nature of so many of us and willingness to participate, to support great causes. As we have a chance now to speak about the DG5K, the Honourable Franz Mandelson, as Deputy Governor, joins us. Together with Miss Jennifer Ahern and, from Appleby, make sure I get it right, Mr. Simon Raftopoulos.
That's right.
All right, man. My new best friend. We're going to have some fun after this. And Miss Meher Lamdo. It's a fun Wednesday afternoon.
It is. It's great.
It is. And, Mr. Mandelson, honestly, if you hadn't shared with us that you were a little bit under the weather, you wouldn't know. Not only because of the energy and the smile.
Still
the
smiling.
Enthusiasm.
Still smiling. It's a wonderful day in the Cayman Islands. It is.
It is, man. It's. And this morning I had a chance to chat with a gentleman who hadn't been back to Cayman in almost 30 years.
Wow.
And his family and his grandson. And we were chatting, and I asked the question, what is in a knee? Because this is what the grandfather was leaving with us, and I was talking about the changes in Cayman, and some of the road names and the places and the different things. And here's someone who used to come here way back when there was only a few people, and then a little bit more, and life got busy, but for whatever reason he never physically made it back. I guess his jet with his family found its way here. His money was probably spent here and invested, but he just never did. And you get busy. And to see that perspective, wow, it was amazing. But anyway, life is good, man. Give thanks.
Absolutely. We live in a very special place, the Cayman Islands, and we're talking about the DG's 5K, and one of the things that really amazes me is the show of support that we've had every year now for the last 6 years for the DG's 5K. Both the private sector, the public sector, everyone coming together for some fantastic charities. And that's really what makes Cayman special. It's the people who live here, the people who are willing to give back to our community, the people who show a genuine care and concern for the betterment of our people in our islands, and that's what makes Cayman the special place that it is.
It is, I mean, we can see people who either, as a good friend always tells us publicly, give it their time or their talent or their treasure. They find a way to do so willingly, and I must commend. But the organization to make it happen, Mr. and the logistics to pull it together, you make it look easy, you and your team.
Well, I have an absolutely incredible team that I work with on the planning committee, and the volunteers that we have that come out on the day are phenomenal as well. So we really couldn't do it without everybody stepping up and working together. And it's so much fun putting it on because you feel like you're doing something really valuable for the community. I get an opportunity to work with civil servants that I don't get to work with on a daily basis, and we have a lot of fun. And it's a bit like, we were joking at one of our meetings, it's a bit like, when you see a duck or a swan swimming on the surface. Like on the surface, it's all very calm, and underneath their feet are going like crazy. And that's a bit like how we seem to be rolling with the planning committee. But I'm hugely grateful for all the effort that everyone has put into it on the planning committee. And, we couldn't do it without them. And as the DG mentioned, the support that we have from the private sector as well, from our corporate sponsors. We have someone here with us from Appleby today. If it wasn't for those corporate sponsors stepping up and coming up and supporting us year after year, we wouldn't be able to make the impact that we have with this event. It's just, it's so much fun. It's an opportunity to come out and be part of something bigger in terms of making a difference in your community. You can get a little bit of exercise. You can get to see people you haven't seen for ages and really feel good about being part of this whole, it's an event. Yeah. And it's an experience. So hopefully everybody's signed up or going to be signing up and will be coming out and joining us on Sunday morning.
Indeed. And I think, as Jen shared, Simon, the idea from the sponsors, the people who helped to facilitate, but also as one of the wonderful recipients, the charities perspective. From Appleby's perspective?
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, thank you very much for bringing me on. I think, Appleby's been involved since 2015 in the Deputy Governor's run, and we've seen it grow and now become one of the preeminent events. We think it's great because, it's great for the community, but you're also promoting healthy exercise, which is great for everyone. As you say, Cayman is such a special place, and it's good to have everyone out, and we're raising money for important charities, especially like the Cayman Islands Crisis Centre, which does excellent work in our community. So we are grateful, and we look forward to it. I think we have 55 Apollobians.
I like that.
on the run on Sunday. So we are thankful to be here, and we look forward to it.
All right. With that, Mahir, the idea Simon shared, the organizations in our community to serve, to uplift, to empower, but to support, the agencies through actions. The Crisis Centre, certainly,
Absolutely. From the Crisis Centre perspective, we are so grateful for the funding that we get from the DG's 5K, thankful to the DG, thankful to Mr. Hearn, and thankful to all of our private sector sponsors as well, because the money goes a long way for us. And I know there's so many wonderful organizations in Cayman. There's so many wonderful charitable organizations doing great work, and it was an honor to be chosen as one of the organizations. It's us, the Crisis, as the Cayman Islands Crisis Center, the Special Needs Foundation, and the Alex Panton Foundation, and we're all doing really great work, and we're all really hoping, with the funds that we get, with the awareness that's raised through an event like this, with the kind of scope that the DG's 5K gets every year, it's really beneficial for us for sure.
And that's the thing, Ms. Jen, from what you here was sharing. Not only is the event on Grand Cayman, but for this year, it is on all three islands. The participants across the wider spectrum, from the corporate community to the individuals, whether they're civil servants or otherwise, just participating. But then the discussions that are had, with people, the exercise, but also the charities. Scope, I think, is a good word. I like that.
And that's one of the things we've been really, really fortunate to have partnered with some of the charities over the years for the event, who have made such an incredible impact in the community. The very first year we supported Derek Haynes' campaign to build the new hospice, now Jasmine, facility. So anyone who was part of that first DG 5K was part of making that facility a reality, and we had the Prince and the Duchess here this year to open that facility. And so if you were one of those people that came out that very first year, you helped make that happen. We sent the largest contingent to the Special Olympics World Games in Los Angeles, and the DG has shared about watching them enter the stadium and knowing that we helped get them there, and to see how they succeeded on the world stage and what incredible ambassadors they still are, but at that Games were for the Cayman Islands. Again, if you were part of that DG 5K, you helped make that happen. We partnered with the Cayman Heart Fund, bought a new ambulance for the Health Services Authority. If you ever see it on the road, it's the one with the very distinctive Cayman Heart Fund logo on the doors. It's just amazing to see things that we've helped make happen. My individual registration fee, if I was to donate that to a charity, on its own wouldn't have the same impact as when I've thrown that $25 into the DG5K funds and pooled it with everyone else who's been part of it. and been able to make the impact. We also supported the YMCA. I think that was the DG's favorite one because he got to climb the ropes course.
Not sure about
I shouldn't say it was your favorite. That's not right. I shouldn't say there was a favorite. But the deputy governor, who will tell you he's not a big fan of heights,
no, I'm not.
overcame that and clambered up quite successfully through the ropes course. And the Y has been using that for team building. They've been using it working with youth. So it's been fantastic. And then last year we supported Meals on Wheels with their Feeding Senior Citizens. Feed Our Future does lunches in schools, and then the Kiwanis Kids Breakfast Program. So it's just, it's amazing to be able to see and to work with those charities who are all doing such great work to help them raise their profiles sometimes in the community and also make that difference.
All right. Well, when we come back from the break, we can talk more about the theme this year and the idea of how we can participate in. It's not that far away. I mean, today's almost Thursday, as I'm saying. From Thursday to Friday, and then next thing you know, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
So we can share more about it. If you have a question, if you just want to share a comment, of course, the phone lines are open. Miss Susan is not just a gatekeeper. Yeah, she's a facilitator, so she's right there. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Cayman's tourism market is thriving, and the fastest growing segment is vacation home rentals. As a vacation homeowner, Beach Living can help you maximize your share. Beach Living provides a range of management services, multi-channel marketing, guest liaison, check-in, check-out, staging and photography, professional cleaning and maintenance, accounting and tax submissions. Save time and maximize your vacation rental revenue. Call Beach Living on 623-0059 or visit beachlivingci.com.
We at The Wharf have the only multi-purpose conference room in Cayman, providing high-speed internet and all state-of-the-art audio and visual, and are now open and ready for your meetings and events. Multiple wireless microphones and Dolby surround speakers make your presentations on the giant screen clear and interactive. Imagine your meetings with a view, a full bar and kitchen on site where all your needs are cared for, just a few steps away from the Caribbean Sea. All F&B will be customized to your preference. Call 949-2231 or email info@wharf.ky to start planning your waterfront meeting now.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Work will soon launch Jobs Cayman, an online system that allows registered users to access job postings created by registered employers. This system offers a better approach to facilitate Caymanians in finding employment and allows employers to search for qualified and skilled Caymanians who are seeking employment. For more information on the registration process and what you need to register, visit www.worc.ky. Work, leading the pursuit of full Caymanian employment and economic prosperity for all through service excellence.
RC Fusion, featuring Billboard pop hit songs and more from the 70s to the 90s.
RC Fusion.
Weekdays from 10 a.m. till 12. RC Fusion.
Brought to you by Nathan General Maintenance and Construction. You break it, they fix it. Call the General for a free quote. 917-7586.
RC Fusion.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks for joining us as we wanted to continue our discussion to celebrate, the DG 5K, and Honorable Franz Manderson joins us together with Jennifer Ahern and Mahir Lambda and then for Appleby. Now, let's try it again. Simon Raftopoulos. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, that is it. Well done.
Oh,
Yeah, very good.
Rolls right off the tongue, just like Ebanks. I mean, as smooth as. No, I'm going to share. In this studio, we have a rule, and we love everybody. It just comes in.
Yes.
Simon was here. We had a quick little chat. It is fun. It's fun to see the energy, to see that level of what I call it, hospitality.
For sure.
When you walk in, it's just a great place, right?
Definitely.
I'll tell you, what is it? Hear that, Miss Norma? No, but it's something that, if I may ask, so Shane, we reference it, but oftentimes I don't think that we really, as a wider community, appreciate the impact or corporate entities, that level of giving, not just of funding, but the hours of sort of dedicated volunteering.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting you say that, sometimes corporates are actually made up of people, and people are your communities. So to sort of say, we see it as people, and certainly things like these runs are excellent for us because ultimately it's people. It's great for raising the awareness of everyone. And if you have healthy employees, that's good for everyone, especially the employees. So I think you're right. It ultimately, especially for us at Appleby, corporates, what are corporates? Corporates are places of work for people, and people make up your community. So if you distill it down, that's where it starts and ends, is with people and community. So again, very happy to help on this initiative.
And I'm anxiously looking forward to the Apollonians, to see what their new flags will look like. And do you have like a sign in time as you rebrand the Apollonians? At least maybe just for the 5K.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's obviously a huge raft of sponsors, and I'm sure a lot of the other accounting firms, I'm sure they're going to be out there in force, and a lot of the other law firms. So yeah, the purple Apollobians, I'm sure, will be joined by a lot of other people. So yeah, look forward to seeing who will pitch up. I think the numbers are excellent and they continue to grow. So we'll certainly encourage anyone listening, to set your alarm clock first maybe and then sign up.
There you go. But Meher, from that perspective, you use the word scope, and that's still sort of resonating in the fact that it's not just an audience that's participating. It's the audience, right. Because the wider community now gets awareness and also finds ways of accessing the resources, not just to volunteer.
And that's our goal, is we want everyone in Cayman to know that if you're experiencing domestic violence, if you need someone to talk to, if there's something going on in your life, we are here for you. And there are lots of resources available in Cayman, and we are one of them. And most people know the Cayman Islands Crisis Center as a shelter, and in the last 16 years, we've become so much more than that. We've grown, we've expanded, we've opened our walk-in center so that women, men, and children can access our services, because we recognize that domestic violence is not just experienced by women. And we also recognize that domestic violence really affects children, and just by being in the home. So we want children to know that there's services available for them, and to do that, we've opened up our Taya Lounge, which is for at-risk youth between the ages of 14 and 21, because we want to teach our kids what healthy conflict resolution looks like, what healthy relationships look like, and we want to get to them early. We want to make sure that we're not just working in crisis. We're not just there for crisis resolution, but we're also there for early intervention and supporting to end domestic violence in Cayman, because we truly believe that that's possible. At the Cayman Islands Crisis Center, we think we can end domestic violence, but it will start with how do we educate our youth and how do we move towards the next generation, and making sure that that's how families start in the future as well.
Indeed. And Ms. Chin, when you look at, not just as you shared the Crisis Center, but the Alex Panton Foundation, we look at especially these foundations, almost a theme among the recipients again this year in relation to this impact and on our communities.
No, all three of the charities are doing fantastic work. The Alex Panton Foundation does a lot of work in the arena of mental health, particularly around adolescent mental health. That's one of their targets, but not just focusing on the adolescents. They've got services and for the whole family, and they're really making a big impact in the community. And then the Special Needs Foundation, they're a relatively new group that's expanded tremendously. They've got their location that's across from the auto spa above Doctors Express, and they've seen an increasing demand for the services and the assistance that they provide. And I think one of the things, and this is reflected in our tagline for the event this year, which is moving away from stigma, stronger together. And it's looking at, some of the work that the Crisis Centre does, some of the work the Alex Panton Foundation does, and the Special Needs Foundation, looking at increasing the awareness, looking at increasing the sensitivity, and really having those conversations in our community and making sure that people are aware of the services that are out there to support them if they need them, just increasing the awareness so that some of that stigma gets removed, particularly in the areas around mental health, domestic violence. It's really something that we've come a long, long way, but we need to go a lot further. And, one of the discussions that we've had before is the importance of not just looking at your physical health and not making that distinction between physical health and mental health, but recognizing that health is all of that rolled up together. Physical health, mental health, and well-being. You can't really have good health unless it's all in balance and you're taking care of all of it. So we just, the DG saw supporting these 3 charities as an opportunity to facilitate some of those discussions in the community, to raise some of that awareness, and to work with them as they're making an impact on the people that they're serving.
And Mr. Manderson, from that perspective, you've always championed the idea of health and wellness, and something you said publicly is that if we as a community are healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, not only are we more productive, but we're enjoying life a lot more.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have the flu now, but I must say that I in 2012 I made a real conscious effort to get back out, exercise. My days of playing football in West Bay, I was really fit, and then all of a sudden, I was putting on weight and not being very healthy at all. But since 2012, when I made this decision to change my lifestyle, to go on a diet, eat healthy, go out and do a lot of the 5Ks, whatever, I've seen the difference. I rarely ever get sick. Like I said, I'm sick now with the flu, but rarely do I ever get sick.
Yeah.
I went 6 years without a sick day. Wow. And that was simply because I had changed my lifestyle and I was out running, walking. Walking is just as good as running, if you do it some healthy steps. And it has been, I've seen how it has benefited myself. So I want others to experience that as well. I've been very touched by the work that has been done by the Crisis Centre. When you hear about the work that they do and the impact that they have on the community, you really want to support organizations like that. They're first-class organizations run by some really great people. So we in Cayman, we never know when we will need those services. The Alex Panton Foundation, a lot of work about raising the awareness of, as Ms. Aaron said, mental illness. We've seen now teen suicides. These are serious things that require all of us getting together. The government can't do everything. And then the Special Needs Foundation. I went to a breakfast and they had a lot of testimonials from young Caymanian women who had children that required special needs, and they were told, sorry, they can't come to my school. So those children were being told, you can't attend school. The women were having to stop working to be able to take care of their child. What the Special Needs Foundation does is preach in inclusion, that let those children go back into the schools, train the teachers to be able to work with these children. They're one of us, they just have a different, a special need that we need to be aware of. And they're going to grow up in our society. So the easier we make it for them to function, then it's better for all of us. And then the children around them need to know that there are people in our community that are a bit different from us, and we must respect them and treat them fairly. So when that is done at a very early stage, then we have a much better chance of success. So I think we have really 3 wonderful charities who really make a difference in people's lives. Our purpose in the civil service is to make the lives of those we serve better. Well, these charities does exactly that in a very profound way. So Cayman, let's come out and let's support the DG's 5K on Sunday. Come and get signed up and let's have some fun.
As we go into our news break, Ms. Jen, good segue to invite people, for those who want to sign up. How do we do it?
So while you're listening to the news, you can go on to caymanactive.com/DG5K and get registered. Registration is super easy online. You can either pay online with your credit card. You can opt to pay offline. If you're one of the lucky people whose corporation is paying, like we've got the group from Appleby, then you can select pay with corporate check. Civil servants have the opportunity to pay with a salary deduction, so it'll come out of October's pay. And then starting on Thursday at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Friday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., you can come and pick up your shirt and pick up your race bib. If you were one of the early birds, you will get one of these super fantastic limited edition DG 5K hats. That's the first 400 people who got signed up will be the lucky recipients of one of those fantastic caps. And yeah, go online, DG 5K at CaymanActive.com. CaymanActive.com, DG5K, and get signed up. Make sure you indicate where you work, because we do have some trophies for the private sector company with the most participants, the statutory authority government company with the most participants, the highest percentage participation, as well as the core government agencies. And we've got the schools trophy as well. Cayman Prep are the undefeated holders of that trophy, so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to take it away again this year.
Wow, and to see the schools participating, it comes back to the idea of inclusion, of being healthy both physically and mentally, of recognizing that the scope is beyond just the participants, the sponsors. It's the wider community being impacted by it. And I can see the tremendous benefit, but also not just the energy and enthusiasm, but excitement in preparing it. And for those who are listening, if you have a comment or a question you just want to share, perhaps one of your stories from the early years of participating, maybe it was a particular cause that was the impetus. I know for some of us, having the Heart Fund and the ambulance was one of the reasons why we contributed even more. For others, it was the YMCA, because we saw the potential, the impact on our teens in particular. Every opportunity is afforded to us. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. When we come back, Miss Susan will be there, or we're going to be here. Still no lunch, but hey, we'll still be here. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
House Speaker Honorable Makiva Bush has been elected the Deputy Chair of the CPA Small Branches Executive Council of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association and will represent all small countries in the world body in this forum. A government press release says, as an executive member, Speaker Bush will be engaged in highlighting the CPA Small Branches issues and challenges in the CPA's activities. Another objective of the executive is to boost the current network for the CPA Small Branches by sharing knowledge and creating greater opportunities for parliamentary strengthening and cooperation across the network. In news elsewhere, the Trump administration has released details of a phone conversation in July that has triggered a U.S. impeachment inquiry against the president. According to the notes, Donald Trump asked the Ukrainian leader to look into corruption claims involving the son of Joe Biden, Mr. Trump's possible rival in next year's presidential election. Mr. Trump denies withholding U.S. military aid to Ukraine as leverage. The World Health Organization chief says the second deadliest Ebola outbreak in history is on the retreat, but he warns that any attack by the many armed groups could affect health workers' hard-won gains. The chief told reporters at the UN headquarters Wednesday that it's not a good idea to predict an end to the outbreak that has killed nearly 2,000 people since August of last year. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us and honored to be able to continue discussing and hopefully inviting your participation and involvement on Sunday for the DG 5K. Honorable Franz Manderson, Ms. Jennifer Ahern, and Simon Raftoflos. Right, Simon? Yep, he said yes. From Appleby, from the Crisis Center. Ms. Mahir Lamba joined us. And certainly, before we get into it, maybe Ms. Jen, under your sort of guidance, quick reminder, it is this Sunday.
It is this Sunday.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when we were talking about it, it's 6 months away.
Yep.
No, it's
it's
not even
this
6
Sunday.
days. It's this Sunday.
Yep, this Sunday, 6:30 is the start. You want to arrive a little early, so that you can take advantage of the incredible atmosphere that we're going to have. We're going to have a DJ playing some music. When you get back at the end of the race, we've got Dream Chasers who are going to be performing while we're waiting for everyone to finish. We'll have some coffee on offer as well as some fruit. And as we were talking about off the air on the break, we want to remind everybody to bring their own water bottles. We had some feedback after last year's event that the amount of plastic that was generated with the water that was donated and consumed was a bit startling. So this year, in an effort to try and minimize our impact and minimize the amount of waste that we're generating with this event, we're asking everyone to please bring their own refillable water bottle. We will have water available, and you can fill your bottle when you get there. We'll also have some Gatorade powder. If you're a big fan of the Gatorade, you can throw some in your bottle and shake it up with the water, but please do bring your own bottle to the event. There will be paper cups available at the water stop, so if you're one of these super hardcore runners who just likes to grab that paper cup and have a sip on your way by, don't despair. We will have that available, but we are really encouraging everyone to please bring their own water bottle. And we were also talking about one of the really cool things we've done this year too is the shirts are now made from recycled plastic bottles. The fabric is made from recycled plastic bottles. I'm not sure how that works, but I can tell you that the shirts feel like any other tech shirt. And again, this year we're really excited. We've got tank tops as well as T-shirts on offer. But if you don't get signed up, you won't get one of them, and you need to get registered at caymanactive.com DG5K. Registration closes on Friday at 5 o'clock. So you really do need to keep an eye on the calendar, an eye on the clock, and make sure you get online and signed up before that time, and then come down to the Government Admin Building either Thursday or Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pick up your shirt and your race bib, and if you were one of the first 400, your limited edition DG5K baseball cap, and then get your water bottle ready and come and join us on Saturday morning.
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, yes, thank you. Sunday. Don't come on Saturday.
In fact, you know what? Come Saturday, that way you'll be there early.
Sunday.
You see, Miss Jen is so excited about it. She wants, maybe next year it'll be a 2-day challenge.
No, I think one day is good. Yeah. And I have to let everybody know, because a few people have spoken to me and they've expressed that they'd really, really like to come, but they're worried that it won't finish in time for them to get to church. And usually we're done by 9 o'clock. The awards ceremony's done, the raffle's done, and you're able to nip home and grab your quick shower and put on your church clothes and get there in time. unless you have early church. But we do have some incredible raffle prizes available as well. And we're really grateful for the donations that we've had for that. We've got some staycations. We have a 2-night stay at the Ritz-Carlton that some lucky participant is going to go home with, as well as some gift certificates from a lot of our local vendors. We've got the Lobster Pot, so if you're a fan of their crazy burger that they have that's like 6 feet high. Well, not quite 6 feet high, but
5 feet 11.5 inches.
We'll have some gift certificates for that. We've got some personal training sessions, some memberships at World Gym. So it's not just about the people who get the top 3 finishes all get medals, but everybody else has a chance to walk away with some fantastic prizes. So it's definitely worth being there on Sunday morning.
Indeed. Well, we do have, sorry.
Well, I want to also give a shout out to Kim and Brock. We were there not last weekend, the weekend before. Yeah. And we really had a great turnout. I think we had almost like 10% of the population show up. So it was really great to be there. The governor was there for the first time that a governor actually went over to Kim and Brock. So we really had a great time over there, and I want to give a big shout out to the people in Kim and Brock for showing up. We had a really great time.
Yeah, man, you're on the Brock, What else?
Absolutely.
That's just expected. No, they're wonderful, man.
Wonderful.
We do have a call online.
Sure.
And as we invite you to share your thoughts with us, certainly always excited and eager to hear from you. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, good afternoon, my friend.
This is John Wayne. I'm calling because for the first time I will be walking in the DJ5.
Hey, way to go,
fantastic.
Yes. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because since the inception of the race, me and Youth Tech School has always been volunteering as marshals.
That's right.
So I'm encouraging them to come and join me to walk this year.
Wonderful.
The 7th is the charm, I think, right?
That's right.
Around there.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But you've always been a big support. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
And all the staff will be there, so you'll kind of join me as well. So.
Wonderful.
Oh, maybe you guys will get the trophy for the highest percentage participation.
Yes. Because I've been driving the course for X amount of years, and I think it's time for me to walk it.
That's right. Get out and have some fun.
It's a different feeling from what I'm told.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, congrats, man. You're always, it's another one of those stalwarts that, thankfully, just happen to be a civil servant as well.
Absolutely.
A great fellow. John Boy, enjoy it, man. Have fun, all right?
I will try.
Thanks again for your support.
I enjoy the afternoon. And that's the thing, I was thinking when I said earlier about some of the stories I've heard, and I believe they're probably embellished somewhat, but being West Bears, they're probably truthful. There's probably no fibs there at all, right? And some of the guys would talk about getting on the course and a race walk amongst themselves to see who, they probably come in to the back of the pack, but in their minds they come in first, right?
Right.
And just the little things that carry over into the evenings in the Domino session or beyond. So it's building memories.
My buddy Noel Williams used to play with us with scholars. The last couple of years he and I have been having a little friendly rivalry. So we're still up in the air about who won last time, but we were neck and neck at the finish line. I think I edged him by like 0.2 of a second or something. But it's great, and that's what it's all about. Come out, have some fun. I always say that, I'm just going to walk it and just have fun, and then I see someone that I don't want them to meet me, so I gotta run a little bit. So yeah, it always turns out to be a really great event. So
thanks for sharing that, because those are some of the things, right? I won't embarrass the friend, but some of us walk fast. I mean, Ray Banker just naturally walks fast, even if he was going sideways. But to see people like that who normally walk fast, now speed walking is maybe the word you would use. Right. I don't know, their hips seem to be moving at such a pace that it almost looks like a blur. And I've seen one or two videos, man.
Absolutely. We have some people in the Run Walk Club there that they walk really, really fast. I mean, their walk is some people's jog. I mean, it's fantastic. But you talk about the stories. So, we have had civil servants who, started a few months ago, and they're saying, I'm not sure that I can walk a mile. And then they walk a mile, and then they walk And then they do the 5K, and then they get a bit more excited, and then in December they do the half marathon. So here in January, somebody thought that they couldn't walk a mile, and now in December they're doing 13 miles. That is a fantastic story. People are saying, I've lost weight, I'm out walking with my families. So there's no downside to this.
No.
You are really out there supporting wonderful charities. You're getting healthy. You're seeing people, like Mr. Ahern said, that you've never seen in a long time. You're giving back to our communities. It is just a wonderful event. So, I was at the Lions Club walk on this Sunday. The work that they do is amazing with colon cancer and different things. And again, great turnout. And come out and support the walks. Whether the DG's 5K or it's the next one, just come out and support the walks. They all really have great benefits.
And I think too, as you shared, if you don't mind me just repeating the fact that if you're healthy, you may get under the weather with a little flu or a little bug or so on, but you don't stay down that long.
That's
you
right.
recover faster, but you can still function. Now, I'm here from that perspective. I'm thinking, I won't include you in my category, but for those of us who aren't as active, maybe this is the time to do it so that we baby steps, right?
Right, and I think you got to start small, and you start with a 5K. You start by walking the 5K, and then maybe you'll get healthy by accident. And mentally and physically, you'll be seeing people. You'll be in a good mood, and never know what comes from that.
That's right.
I'm thinking. I think I'll sprint the first 50 meters to be in front, and then walk the rest of the race.
See, I was
That's fine too.
Yeah, I was hoping that I could probably get one a golf cart. And I could take me the 5K twice.
Yeah, I mean, what is great, and I think obviously that there's going to be loads of people, but the momentum of the crowd also carries you.
Yeah.
If you have to walk by yourself, it's nowhere near as fun or as encouraging or incentive with everyone walking with you. You'll see friends in the community, you see friends, colleagues. So I think that's a great thing, and it brings everyone together, and you go along with it, as you say, great vibe and great atmosphere.
Yeah, and we've had people say that. Someone's finished it and said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it was over. I met up with so-and-so, and we were just chatting our way around the course, and the next thing I knew, we were crossing the finish line. And, it's fantastic to hear that, because it really is about promoting the fact that exercise can be fun. It's an opportunity to socialize. It's an opportunity to really do something good for yourself as well as for your community. And so I think, if you want to sprint the first 50, that's great.
Yeah.
And then, we also talked about the fact that when you come around the bend, coming up to the glass house, that's when you can sprint across the finish line.
Yeah.
And we will have, I have to say, this is the first year we've done it. We've got some volunteer photojournalists who will be out on the course taking some photos for us. It's something that Kara Coe on our team initiated with the Celebrate Cayman, and it was really successful, and so she's done it again now for the DG 5K. So I do want to give a big shout out to those volunteer photojournalists and say a huge thanks to them. But if you see them, that's your opportunity to put on the big smile, and they'll be wearing a badge that says photojournalist or press. But it's just so much fun, and we get some fantastic photos. And if you haven't already liked our Facebook page, I want to ask everybody to do that. If you're on Facebook, I know not everybody is, and it's just DG's 5K Challenge. And as you're training, if you're a hashtagging kind of person, if you can post your photos and put hashtag DG5K Challenge 2019, that would be great, so that we'll see everybody who's out there getting ready. But it's just so much fun. If you've never done it, you need to come and be part of it, and you won't believe how much fun you'll have.
And for those of you who are like me, the hashtag the pound sign is a scene symbol. I found out recently. As soon as I fell off the chair again. All right, we're going to pause and take the final break. When we come back, we're going to have a good fun as we tell you more about the DG 5K and remind you how to get, not just registered, but who knows, how you can participate further. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Cayman's tourism market is thriving, and the fastest growing segment is vacation home rentals. As a vacation homeowner, Beach Living can help you maximize your share. Beach Living provides a range of management services, multi-channel marketing, guest liaison, check-in, check-out, staging and photography, professional cleaning and maintenance, accounting and tax submissions. Save time and maximize your vacation rental revenue. Call Beach Living on 623-0059 or visit beachlivingci.com.
Logic Fiber Internet is the fastest internet on the island, and it's gotten even better because when you sign up now, you get 1 month free. Sounds great, but there's some very real drawbacks. Your kids will never leave. You'll have nothing to complain about. And you can't blame your online gaming stats on anything but skill. Sign up now for Logic Fiber Internet for the fastest and 1 month freest internet on the island. Visit logic.ky to sign up. Terms and conditions apply.
Show your support for the scuba diving and water sports industry at the 2019 International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Induction Ceremony on Friday, October 4th at the Margaritaville Beach Resort. Tickets cost $75 pre-sold or $100 at the door, so get your tickets today. Tickets are available from the offices of the Department of Tourism and the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. The International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Ceremony, Friday, October 4th. Get your tickets now.
Headlines.
With the latest headlines.
Headlines.
All the news when you want it. Tune in to Radio Cayman for hourly headlines of the day's top stories.
One of Cayman's bright and shining young stars.
Local, regional, international.
Headlines.
Turning to international news. Updates on the hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. on weekdays. Radio Cayman News.
Headlines.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us in a quick programming note. 1:30, the Gamers Bay, sort of video gaming tournament. We're going to have a chance to chat about that. Kind of excited about it. I'm not big into video games, but this is not just, video gaming. It's a technology conference, convention. And so I got a chance to learn more from Mr. Jefferson. But now, the DG5K. Man, put on your running shoes, put on your walking smiles, get ready. Honourable Franz Mandelson, Jennifer Ahern, and Simon, together with Mahira, joins us, Appleby and the Crisis Centre, one of the sponsors and one of the recipients. It's a fun afternoon, huh?
Yeah.
It's a fun afternoon.
Yeah, time is zipping by. I can't believe it's
time for the rope challenge.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I guess time does fly when you're having fun.
Well, thank you for having fun with us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you were listening to people over here and have fun. I think with John would have made it so much fun. Yeah.
John was a special guy.
Yeah. It's great that he's going to come and participate on the course. He has been one of our stalwart volunteers, and it's great that he's going to come out and be on the other side and be running around the course with his family. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. And I think when you were sharing, Simon, the corporate team, as part of its physical show of participation, come out in numbers. The civil servants, the statutory authorities, the families, sometimes the little groupings of people coming out and being a part of this, a collective impact. It has to be, not just uplifting, but I think when you look at it, your 25, as you shared, Miss Jane, combined with Simon's, combined with Susan's, all of a sudden now you got 100,000. And 1 year you'd have 10 million. Just a thought.
Next year.
All right. Oh man, but the course. I had a question off here asking about the course. I know it's only 5K, and when you convert it to CI, it's even less. But it's just exchange rate. Could you share with us the course? It's the same course all along, right?
Yeah. No. So this is the course that we've had. We had a different course our very first year, but starting in our second year, we moved to this course, and we've been using it ever since. So it starts and finishes in front of the Government Administration Building. When everybody sets off, they'll head down Elgin Avenue towards the roundabout by the credit union, go up to the traffic lights by the cricket pitch. You're going to hook a right at the traffic lights and head down. I guess at that point it's Smith Road.
Yeah.
It changes name, so I never know exactly where it is. But so you're going to go along Smith Road. You'll head along past Hospital Road, keep going on Walker's Road until you get to Melmac, which at Melmac you will find the team from Cineco who are sponsored our halfway stop, our halfway mark sponsors, and they're usually out there cheering everybody on, letting them know they're halfway there, and then you'll go down Melmac down to South Church Street, go along South Church Street back towards town, and you'll come back up Fort Street and through town past the library and then past around Anderson Square and up past the Glass House back up to finish in front of government admin. And that's the course, and we'll have marshals all along the way to make sure everybody is safe. We've been checking the course. The Monday Night Walk Run Club has been doing the route on Mondays as well, so we've been checking to see if there's any dogs that need to make sure that they're kept a little closer to home on Sunday morning, and we're really grateful for the cooperation we've had from the homeowners along the route. And hopefully they're all sitting there planning to join us, because rather than having to curse everybody walking by and en masse and on the way, but it's a great morning. You get to see a little bit of the sea as you're going along South Church Street, and just come and have some fun.
Yeah. And that really was my favorite part of the course last year was, when I got past Maples and went into Georgetown, and you got that nice fresh air from the sea. I got a bit more energy, so I could run a bit faster. So that was fantastic. And Cayman in the morning is such a beautiful place, and seeing the Georgetown Harbor like that at 7 o'clock is fantastic.
I'm thinking that one of the reasons it probably is without question the salt air, that taste of the sea. But it's the fact that you cast your eyes to the left. What's in front of you? West Bay, straight there. That's what it is. Christian's like, I don't know. Yeah, I can see Mr. Manson thinking, home. Home. Home Blaze, come back to the office. No, but it is one of those things. I think that for those who do it on my behalf, so to speak, they enjoy it, and it's not just the route. I think it's the fact that the organizations that are being affected, and the community how it's been impacted, and we see it for what it's worth. Simon, to you, and Appleby, and all of the entities that come on board. It shows what we are as a community, the strength in numbers. As the tagline is, moving away from Stinger, stronger together, and that strength in numbers is just not only safer, but. So thanks to you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you to Mr. Madison. It's a great opportunity for us. We're really looking forward to it. It's the first time that I'll be doing it, so really looking forward to that. And I hear some of the government departments are challenging each other, which is great.
That's right.
There's going to be a lot of side betting, I suspect. And but it's for a great cause. I mean, Cayman Islands Crisis Centre in particular, they do very hard work, and they deal with tough situations daily, and I think sometimes we forget that. Yeah. So it's good to raise them up and be mindful of what these people actually do for the community. So hopefully see everyone out there, and thank you very much to everyone.
I'm here. I mean, from that perspective, when we think about it, you have two other wonderful entities sort of benefiting as well. But as Simon shared, no question, the Crisis Centre.
I do want to say, we're talking about when you add $25 for each person and we put it all together, your loyal listeners will know the Cayman Islands Crisis Center is on our way to building a new shelter. We had 34 women and children at our shelter in November and 35 in December, and our shelter is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home with 24 beds and 2 cribs. So there is a need in Cayman, and as we're breaking the stigma more, as we're moving away from that, more people are coming forward, and that's what we want. We want our community to be able to talk about the things that are difficult, and we want Cayman to be safe. We want our people to be free from violence, and so we want them to come forward. We want them to have the access to the services that they need, and we at the Crisis Center want to be able to provide that in a way that is healthy and safe for everyone who comes forward to be able to heal and begin to live their lives free from violence. So the money we raise here and the money that we'll be raising for the next few years is all going towards building a purpose-built new shelter in Cayman for women and children, and possibly beyond that as well, to keep everyone safe.
And that's fantastic. So, Ms. Ahern talked about the hospice building in Jasmine. That has now been built, and now you're going to get a chance to help the Crisis Center build a building. When you see that building go up, you can feel proud that you were part of that. And again, stronger together. That's what we are. When we all come together, we are much stronger. And let's really work together and make some really special things happen. We're doing that.
We're doing that, and we continue to do it. It's remarkable, the small community, what we're doing. And Ms. Jen, to you and your team in particular, organising these events. I know PTAs and even church groups put together little events, and it's a lot. But it's only 20 people, maybe lucky if you get 200. You're talking 2,000 or 20,000.
Last year we had 2,000 persons registered. We hope we're going to get back there again. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So for those who want to register, it's not too late, but it's getting close there.
No, but time is running out. You need to get online before 5 o'clock on Friday and register. CaymanActive.com/DG5K. You need to get on there, get signed up, and then the T-shirt and race bib pickup will be Thursday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the public lobby at the Government Admin Building. But yes, please, everybody, get signed up, come out and support these 3 amazing charities that we're raising funds for this year: the Alex Panton Foundation, the Crisis Center, and Special Needs. They're doing amazing work in the community, and this is an opportunity to be part of helping them do the work that they're doing, get out and do something fun and that's good for you as well, and maybe walk away with one of our awesome raffle prizes too.
Indeed.
And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Ms. Ahern and her team. I mean, I really just show up, I don't do a lot of the work. They send me a couple of emails and ask me some questions, and I say yes or whatever. But the team does some fantastic work. I mean, Ventisha, who is our...
she's our head of logistics.
Head of logistics.
And everything else.
She pulled off the BRAC event almost by herself, So
her and Shavella
did a fantastic job over there. So a big shout out to all the team. Nadira is doing some fantastic things as well with our registration. Nancy Bernard was in charge of our fundraising. Again, did a fantastic job. So we really have some fantastic people on our planning committee, and thanks Ms. Ahern for her leadership.
Yeah. Well, this is it, Ms. Ahern. I think it's, we look at it, and hopefully every year, not just strength to strength, but stronger together, and making the community to a point where we're moving. And something that you shared, I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears, but hopefully it doesn't offend others. The dogs and the like. That could be a deterrent to many, not just the safety, but if we can have that every day where people are out exercising, where they're walking, pushing their strollers, riding their bikes, just be responsible in our actions, not just picking up after the dog, but keeping the dog leashed so that it doesn't come out of us. So thanks even to that, gesture that isn't insignificant by any means.
And as I said, we've had great cooperation from the landowners along the route. So everybody's really stepping up and helping to make the magic happen.
All right, bring your water bottles, because again, another commitment to sustainability, but also healthy respect for the environment. And let's get active. You wouldn't even know that you were ill if the deputy hadn't mentioned it. So you recover much easier. All right, but thanks very much. So
thank you very much for having us.
It's an honor.
Thank you very much.
Really,
look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday morning.
Simon, enjoy your afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. Will I see you at the race then?
You probably won't. Because you're gonna be out front. You're gonna be sprinting. The rest of us will be back there. And we're here. Thank you to our listeners. I certainly appreciate you and trust that you join us after you come back from the break. Stay tuned.
Before, during, and after a storm, the Water Authority will use all available media channels, including social media, to advise the public of when the water supply is connected and safe to use. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more hurricane preparedness tips. Visit the Water Authority's website at www.waterauthority.ky or follow us on social media.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes. Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard. Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
RC Fusion featuring Billboard's pop hit songs and more from the 70s to the 90s.
RC Fusion.
Weekdays from 10 a.m. till 12. RC Fusion.
Brought to you by Tasty Patties. Baked fresh every 30 minutes. Available at Tortuga locations, the Patty Express Industrial Park, and Bake It and Take It on Eastern Avenue. Get tasty now. The Breeze Fusion is back Saturday, November 2nd.
Bigger and better.
Now featuring a 5K walk run and a 10K run for half marathon trainers. Join the fun and help raise funds for the Central Scranton Park and the NCVO. Save the date or register now at CaymanActive.com or at Radio Cayman Studios. Registration is only $15 if registered by September 30th. And all early registrants enter to win a Cayman Airways voucher.
The Breeze Fusion 5K, 10K walk run.
Saturday, November 2nd.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. And as we have a chance to share with you about our upcoming the Gamers Bay Video Gaming Tournament and Technology Convention. Join us in the studio is James Jamo Miles and
all the big celebrities.
Yeah. I see Lance, so that's good.
You got the shine in here, that makes it important. Yeah.
Miss Susan, maybe we'll take a quick break and get it wrapped back up, and then we can have everybody seated. All right, let's just do that. Join us back. You want to see what technology is like, and you want to see what older folks like me get lost when they see gaming going on. Well, come back in a couple of seconds. Stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
BritK protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
BritK, where people come first.
Are you a natural performer? Can you sing, dance, or play an instrument? Are you known as a gifted comedian? Older persons who can do a star turn are invited to call the Department of Children and Family Services on 949-0290 today. Sign up by Monday, 30th of September to be one of the acts to perform in next month's big stage event on the 10th of October at the Hartwell Theatre during Older Persons Month.
Hi, my name is Neraya LeBlanc. I am the minister and evangelist to the West Bay Church of Christ on 24 Batabano Road. I would love to take this opportunity to invite you to experience God's family at West Bay for yourself. We are a caring congregation that strongly believes in reaching out beyond ourselves to spread the gospel of Christ. We also take great pleasure in ministering to the needs of our people in our community. As God's called out kingdom people, we are in the business of transforming lives for the Master's use. For more information, you can visit our website at westbaycichurchofchrist.org or call us at 946-9294 or 917-1809.
Declaring the word of the Lord.
Cayman Islands Church of Christ presents Word of the Lord.
Word of the Lord, heard Sundays at 6:30 p.m. on Radio Cayman.
Did you know that once properly sanitized, some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after coming in contact with floodwater? In order to properly sanitize these tins, always remove labels, and then wash tins in a strong detergent solution using a brush to get rid of excess impurities. Tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air-dried before opening. For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit the DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us, man. This is where I get to grow, not just my baseline, but I get to expand my horizon, certainly become even more enamored, but encourage and really a chance to energize. Mr. Lance Jefferson, man, last time I saw you, you were almost as handsome as I was.
Yeah, man.
I like the new look, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to look like you a little bit, you know. Something had to rub off.
There you go, man. Now listen, I say this in all seriousness. I commend you not just for your industriousness, entrepreneurial nature, but the way you've been championing technology and encouraging more of us. And for those who are probably my age and a little bit older, would find it increasingly difficult. Thankfully, given that we can see not just opportunities for education, but for industry, not just for an enterprise, but for economic reward when we look at where society is moving and how it's being embraced. So the notion of a video gaming tournament, and for me the technology conference, is part and parcel. I almost by default have to share with you that, but I'll let you take us from the table as you look at our wonderful panel, and some of the faces, only because of my children, I get to recognize who they are. So I feel like I should be asking for autographs, but when I go home today, I'll be a celebrity.
They can sign something for you.
Paychecks? So Lance, tell us, man.
Thank you guys again for inviting the Gamers Bay staff and our guests to talk with you guys, and we appreciate all of the support that we've been getting so far. Again, the reason that we're doing this is the way of the future, and our kids are the future, and it's up to us to kind of guide them in the direction. When it comes to technology, it seems like they're born with the skill sets. It's just a matter of guiding them. Hence the reason why we thought the importance of the technology workshop that we're doing, in addition to the video gaming tournament, is so important. So we'll talk more about that. But at the same time, I would love a chance for our guests to kind of introduce themselves.
Since down here, Trevor, maybe start with you first.
Absolutely, yeah. So my name is Trevor, or T. Martin. I've been doing gaming on YouTube for, I would say, probably 12 years now, and it's been a full-time career for 10 since I was 16 years old. So, or actually, I guess 12 now, or 11. I just turned 27.
Do you need a calculator?
Yeah, I got to do that up. But no, it's been a dream. Kind of able to chase my passions from a young age. Moved out of the house really early, moved to Los Angeles, lived with a bunch of other guys who kind of had the same passion as I did and was able to make a career out of it. And so I'm really excited to be back down here. This is my third time here, third year in a row. And it's really cool to meet all the people that watch the videos and kind of hang out with them and give them a source of entertainment, but also to kind of show them that, there are opportunities out there to make an amazing career for yourself and do what you love and kind of follow your passions.
All right. Well, see, I learned something new.
Yeah, he's spot on there.
All right.
Brad?
My name is Brad, or Drifter, on YouTube. I've also been doing YouTube for 10 years now full-time and playing with it for 12 to 13 part-time. A little bit different than Trevor, a little bit older. I was working on my degrees in college, and my wife, who's also here with me today, we were going to get married. We were engaged at the time, and she wanted a big, nice Chinese wedding with the 9 traditional dishes, and all I was seeing is expensive. And I was doing YouTube at the time part-time, so that I didn't have to wait tables or whatever in college. And then I realized if I just made like 30 times more videos, then we could pay for this wedding. So I did that, and we paid for the wedding. And then after I stopped, the income just kept coming. And I was like, well, I'll just keep this up while I'm in college. Why not? And then I finally paid attention, and I realized, I'm making more money on video games than I am with either of the degrees that I have, so I should probably pursue this. And it's been an amazing, crazy, fun career path that allows me opportunities to do things that other people may not be able to at home, or visit places here like the Cayman Islands, which has been awesome so far. Thank you guys for being great hosts. And part of what I want to do here is talk to kids and tell them that if they're creative and they think at a little bit different angle, that they can radically change their lives and careers and everything on the internet. Because you guys live in a beautiful, content-rich environment. They could be cranking videos here if they knew what to film.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly want to maybe at some point, Lance, I certainly defer to you, but that idea of using the resources that we have here and starting to embrace it. I know Daniel will come into a second, but words like content. I'm thinking for many of us, there's so many other words that are coming to our parlance that is new to us. Not just new words, but new in the context as it is. Now, before we speak to Daniel, as a spouse, you want to join us in a discussion? Because sometimes, how it goes is, the brain's always behind the brawn, right?
Yeah. My name's Jessica. I am Drifter's wife, and I've been working with him with this probably about 6 years now. I was a nurse for 5 years, and I was like, I got injured, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with my time? I guess I could help him out. But I also do cosplaying and do my own content creation on the side. And it's been a very interesting experience, much different from working as a nurse.
Just a little bit, huh?
Just a little bit, yeah.
a lot less diapers.
A lot less.
Yeah, and that is, if we can, I was just looking earlier at trying how to structure the conversation, because I want us as parents, with great respect to those of us who are 50 and above, start to thinking that there is a new generation, a new dawn. There's significant changes, and if we don't embrace it, if we don't nurture it, we're not going to have a generation disconnect. We're going to have children who are lost, no guidance, because we don't know how to relate to them. So at some point, maybe we can talk about the degrees, the college, the learning, the creative aspect, thinking outside the box, and but Daniel, from your perspective, there is an administrative side, there is the logistics, there is also the fun. But introduce and then bring us along.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Cayman Islands. My name is Daniel Scott, co-founder of Gamers Bay and NetGeeks Media. And I'm super excited to be here and have our guests here with us for this weekend's event, Gamers Bay 4.
All right. Jamo, I know you were here just quickly, but maybe jump in as well, man.
Well, why I'm here is because the Gamers Bay has partnered with the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands to put on a special workshop. We started the workshop series last year. Not only in Grand Cayman but also in Cayman Brac. We did Cayman Brac on Monday, and Grand Cayman will get their turn tomorrow. So if you're not signed up yet, go talk to your principal pronto. Get your registration filled out immediately.
Yeah.
And get it back to us, because everything starts 9 o'clock in the morning at John Gray Gym. So be there or be square.
Yeah. We got some exciting things for you.
All right. And I want to go more now, but good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joshua Knies. I don't have a handle, so Josh is fine. Yeah, this is my second year back, and I've just been really gracious of having Daniel and Lance bring me back and working with the Ministry of Education. We did a preliminary test workshop last year, focused in on physical gaming, so really looking at the logic and the mechanics of how to break down a board game or just a physical game, just outside of the video gaming aspect. This year we were able to take that workshop to Cayman Brac, which was awesome. I mean, I think we had some really good feedback from that. But this year's workshop is going to focus a little bit more on that, on some of the newer technology that's out there. And it's really great to be able to work with the youth because there's a lot of different aspects to go in with it. Because I come from a very prescriptive education background. I was going to be a mechanical engineer at the end of the day. So when I shifted gears and told my parents, "Hey, I'm going to be switch over to art," I mean, I can still vision the faces that they were going to make. So, trying to, going out there, parents, if your sons or daughters are interested in gaming, it's going to be okay. I promise you, it's going to be fruitful at the end of the day. So. But again, about the workshop tomorrow, we're going to focus in on some career paths, really what some legit areas you can go into. If you want to explore some pathways for education, there's a lot of different levels that you can get into as far as degrees and just areas of focus. We'll even talk a little bit about what students are working with today, because it all plays into every piece of knowledge that you're gaining right now, either it's from a language arts class, to history, to philosophy and logic. It all plays into game design, and you have to have that really diverse background in order to make good games. And then I don't want to give it away what the workshop's going to be about.
No.
Can I
give it a little taste?
A little taste?
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about spatial computation. So.
Ooh, that's a key
say,
word.
Say that word again.
I know, you got tingles, right? But spatial computing, so which really is a more, it's an enticing word for looking at mixed reality. So virtual reality, augmented reality, kind of mashing it all up into this space that really involves putting all the creative juices flowing in all these different areas, and we're going to look at a lot of different technology, and going to have the students and then the education component of even the teachers be able to pull away with some, we're putting together a package of files and data that they can use and go back in the classroom and create some really cool stuff. So.
And Jamo, I know that you have to, at the break, get back onto your regular scheduled life as it is, but sometimes when we look at gaming and we see maybe back in the day when it was
Pac-Man,
Atari, the Atari
coins,
Pong.
Tokens.
Don't date us like that, bro.
Hey, I was having fun. I don't know we're gonna.
but the evolution, the power behind the computing, the creative juices behind not just the players but those who prepare from the workshop's perspective. For some who don't know, if you wouldn't mind, just quickly remind us. Is it too late? You say if you haven't got, get onto your principals. What? How will students get signed up?
So far we have about 80 people, and we were trying to look at about 100 students. So we have room, and the gym is very big, so you don't have to worry about space. You just got to get registered.
Okay.
Go to any of the high school offices. The principal will have information.
Yeah, I think we got all of the schools except for Grace Academy. Yeah, so if you're listening tonight, Grace Academy, give some of your students permission to come out there. I promise you, they won't regret it.
And the idea, when you're looking at not just the aspect of using gaming for the fun aspect, the entertainment, but the utilization of those skill sets, Josh.
Yeah, what we're finding is that the technology isn't just anchored into gaming. It has great roots in gaming, and gaming is a great platform for experimentation and moving into the next level. Trevor and I were just having a brief conversation in the van over about how there's nursing programs using simulation, and they're really getting to some of that technology, and that technology is born from gaming and from more the entertainment side, but now it has this great scientific practical application, and using some of the same skill sets that you would use in gaming as well.
Right. Now, from that perspective, Trevor, when we think of gaming, and you recall it in Al-Aqsam, God, I'd say drifter, but no, I feel like that won't work for me.
You can call me either.
Yeah, my son wouldn't allow me to say T. Martin or drifter. See, I'm not cool enough yet. So.
Well, Trevor, I don't know about you, but I use the alias so much, it's interchangeable with my real name.
Pretty much.
Might as well be the real name.
It's one of the same.
My girlfriend Chelsea, actually, when we're out in public and there's just a lot of noise and stuff happening, she'll yell T. Martin because I'll react quicker to that than I will to Trevor. So
is that what you're saying?
Interchangeable.
No, but I wanted to get the perspective from, you're in college, you're getting a certain age after high school, and you're making these life-changing sort of decisions, as it were. And I can see on one hand a parent thinking, well, I've worked hard to do this, I don't want you doing this. I mean, where's the money in that? And then they start to see the money rolling in, to see the other things, and making that transition and making that connection, and to get in that level of, for want of a better word, amongst your parents and your family, the credibility, because it's already established and exists within the circle. But for the rest of us, we're thinking, just playing the games again. That's sadly our reality.
Unfortunately, yeah. If you ask, I would say probably like 80% of people think that's what it is. Like you're just sitting in a basement, playing video games, recording yourself. That's all you do all day. And there's so much more to the business that I'm sure Brad can attest to. Meeting with sponsors and brand deals, working with brands to figure out how you can promote their product to reach your audience in an organic way that becomes powerful. I mean, the influencer marketing is the new era of advertising. Like TV advertising, stuff like that is kind of on its way out. And when you can create this organic content that people can relate to, and it's coming from somebody that they know and trust, that's infinitely more powerful than anything you just hear in the background of a TV commercial or something like that.
Right. Chelsea, if I could invite you into it, maybe your initial thoughts and intro, perhaps.
Hi guys, I'm Chelsea. I'm T. Martin's girlfriend, but we also do lifestyle and travel vlogging together. So it's kind of a branch that Trevor took when we started seeing each other. I was actually a teacher when we met, and so I can attest to the fact that I did not know what any of it meant. And when I met him, I was under the impression that he worked for YouTube as a company. I didn't even understand that YouTube was something that you could be making a profit off of or making a living off of. So it's been a learning experience for me. But yeah, it's the behind the scenes. I think people don't understand how much work we do every day, how important it is to be consistent in your posting and your content creation, because the minute that you stop, there's somebody new out there who's posting. So you always have to be thinking about what's the next thing that you can do.
And if you would, we talk about it, of course, the video tournament as well last minute, but if at some point, maybe after 2 o'clock, we can get into that to get a perspective on the market, not unlike running a business and making sure that you're in front of your customers all the time. But before we can, Brad, you're in college. You're studying mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering, and then later I was working on
Put the mic a little bit closer to you.
You got it.
And pretend it's a camera. I'm sorry. Come on.
I'd already finished a degree in mechanical engineering, and I was about to finish my MBA when I started getting into this, or as a job. I started toying with it when I was doing mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay. Wow. Toying with it.
So I came in from a little bit of a different perspective. Instead of trying to justify to my parents what I was going to do, since I already had the degrees, they weren't really worried about me, but I was engaged. And I remember having a dinner with my wife, and I had kind of already decided that I was going to try to pursue gaming instead of engineering. And a friend of mine came over, and he walked up, and he's like, "Hey, man, how'd your interviews go today?" And I had skipped them because I just didn't want to go. And I'm sitting there with her. She's thinking we're gonna be nurse and engineer. And I'm like, yeah, they were real good today. And I had to convince her that gaming could be a viable career, and it has been. But it's not. The comment I get is, get a real job. You just click a few buttons on a computer and print money. Life is unfair. But the reality is that I work almost all the time. Even here in the Cayman Islands, I am working constantly, filming all the guys around me.
It never shuts off.
Yes, you're always looking for something. And I had to use all of the skills that I learned from high school and college. I've had to make physical, weird engineering things to film something. I've had to use the legal classes that I got in the business program to understand contracts. I've had to use the marketing classes to understand how to pitch to brands and agencies and understand what they want from me. And it obviously doesn't come up every day. A lot of days it is playing games. But every single thing that I went to school for, I had to learn about and use. Even like heat transfer and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had some of my equipment wasn't the greatest, so I had to design new airflow so that it doesn't overheat. And it all adds up, and it all is complex and important. And I think I speak for everyone here when I say that influencers are not lazy. They're often very, very busy.
Strong work ethics.
Yeah, I don't think they're lazy at all. I mean, the work ethic lands.
Yeah, the work ethics. Talent can take you so far. I mean, you hear it all the time. Talent can take you so far, but work ethics will take you to that next step. And a lot of times, especially as an entrepreneur, you have that freedom to. You can lay down, you can lay back and just chill, but
that's when you get lapped.
Yep. And not only that, but if you're hungry, how are you gonna eat?
Right.
And if you got that thirst, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna pursue what you need to in order to be successful. Right.
So now I want to pick up on that. Definitely, you guys are in the same vein because I got a couple of people that influence. Influence. But Josh, from that whole notion, and we'll get to it definitely after the break. But just talking about the workshops tomorrow, the skill sets, whether it's a teacher or a nurse, whether it's engineering, we talk about. But from the perspective of the workshop, and for that teacher, maybe that parent. Possibly, more than likely, saying, down there for the day, play video games, they do that now all day long. We make those comments not realizing the impact that they can. And Daniel, I'll bring it to, but the appeal, we got 20 more slots thereabouts. That's potentially 20 more students who could be looking at another possible career, even if it's just behind the scenes creating, the logistics for the platform.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and I think that's the biggest challenge. I mean, I go back to when telling my parents that I was going to switch from engineering to art. And I think even up until a few years ago, the bubble of me saying that above their heads finally faded away. But, I think the idea is that there's so many branching networks now in education that has a big, broad influence on gaming. So we talk about computer science and IT all the time, and looking at the programs that are here on the island as well through UCCI, for instance, you can still be involved and have these niche focuses within your degree program. So I think going to the workshop kind of, because we are going to talk about different pathways and opportunities for employment, because it's not just playing games. It's not just making things look nice through art. It is really looking at, C++ and C# and JavaScript.
Mm-hmm. All the programming languages.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and our students are, our youth is learning that stuff in primary school. I mean, that's an amazing thing. I mean, I can't ever remember having that opportunity, way back in 19... I can't. But,
said before?
Yeah, exactly. 74, But looking back at it, I mean, the opportunities now, it's just there. It's the knowledge that our youth is working with, just from a technology standpoint. I mean, they'd be able to walk into studios much like this and be able to just.
So John, as you were sharing, I'm thinking a couple of things. The idea that we don't just want people to be employees, not just employers, but entrepreneurs, but not just a consumer. Maybe the word is the prosumer. Yeah. So they're producing these things. Are young people maybe playing games and only, but could they not be also, creating the content even from here?
Well, I'm hoping that at least it clicks in one or two Caymanians, that they can create a Caymanian game.
Yeah.
Designed around our historical values and our unique offerings in the Cayman Islands. While we were in the break, I was telling Brad that Drifter that.
Sorry, was your brother Drifter?
Just to make sure if there's any other Brad in the room, like Brad, it's not you. I'm talking about Drifter. That when we was up by the lighthouse, that the red crested boobies actually nest in the face of the cliff, and I said, what would be really awesome if you could take your drone and go down and view the nest. And he like, yeah, that would be cool. I said, I could warn you that T. Martin drone was attacked last year by the sea movies, right? But I guess he thought it was a competitor or something, but but it would be cool. I mean, that's the kind of content that's unique to not only Cayman but unique to the Bragg and to the Bluff and all those kind of stuff. We could generate so much game ideas of just what is offered in Cayman, and then when people come and see those areas for themselves, like we checked out all the caves. Each cave has its own little challenge. You could have that as a stage. And this was the idea when I sat with the workshop in the Bragg. I'm like, well, you guys don't think about doing this kind of stuff. I mean, we don't have these kind of caves in Grand Cayman, you know, so if we can't really, but we can have a Bragg level, and the Bragg level have all these things, you know, and we got beach and we got different stuff down here.
So we can merge
documentary
reality with the virtual. Jumbo hitting the news, but you know, when you start after the tournament, we can come back and we can chat more about it.
Cool. They could be behind like on Youth Flex. I was
going to say, I know this afternoon on Flex we can.
Because Youth Flex is 18 today.
Yeah.
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
So I'm illegal.
Legal to have cake.
All right, Jumbo. All right. Tell listeners, Brad, will you come back?
Yeah, I was going to say, I completely agree with Jumbo that you could start making. I'm not as familiar with game design, but influencer type content here today, albeit gaming or just the stuff around the island in general. Almost every kid is going to have a cell phone, which is a pocket computer, more powerful than the ones that any of us grew up with. It can edit your videos, it can take pictures, record videos, it can control drones, it can Photoshop, it can upload, it can do just about everything. The consoles that you have now literally have streaming and recording stuff built into them that required no expertise to use. And my advice to the kids at the BRAC was that they should practice developing their skills and their use of what they have instead of focusing on like, oh my God, I don't have a $10,000 toy and my drone isn't amazing and my phone isn't. No, you have all the tools you need and you have a beautiful environment around you and your only limitation is your mind.
There you go. Well, when we come back, we're going to expand your mind as we expand your horizons and invite you to be a part of Gamers Bay. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The fire service invests in its personnel. In the past 18 months, local company Resolve has conducted one-on-one interviews with 56 officers who volunteered to be assessed for their individual development needs. And so far, 34 officers have taken part in 48 hours of individual coaching since the initiative began. Further training is still to be offered as the strategy continues, including transformational coaching sessions and culture workshops. In news elsewhere, the White House has released details of a phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart that has triggered a U.S. impeachment inquiry. It shows Mr. Trump asked his Ukrainian counterpart on July 25th to investigate Democratic candidate Joe Biden, whose son worked for a Ukrainian gas firm. Mr. Trump denies withholding U.S. military aid to Ukraine as leverage in a bid to smear his political rival, Mr. Biden. The Trump-Ukraine phone call is part of a whistleblower's complaint. MPs have engaged in angry exchanges over the government's unlawful decision to suspend Parliament. They returned to work after the Supreme Court's historic ruling. Attorney General Geoffrey Cox said he respected the decision but launched a blistering attack on MPs for being too cowardly to hold an election, adding this Parliament is dead. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex has introduced their baby son Archie to renowned anti-apartheid campaigner Archbishop Desmond Tutu. It's the first time the 4-month-old has been seen in public on the couple's 10-day tour of Africa. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Your favorite event of the year is here. A.L. Thompson's Home Fest is this Friday and Saturday. Come and take advantage of deep discounts on fans, lights, outdoor furniture, paint, bath and kitchen fixtures, cabinets, windows, doors, and much, much more. Enjoy 15% off on trusted brands like Kohler, Delta, Closet Made, and Valspar. Take up to 20% off KitchenAid and Whirlpool appliances. A.L. Thompson's Home Fest is the place to be this weekend. Don't miss the incredible deals on the trusted brands you love at Home Fest.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners, serving the Cayman Islands for over 60 years. Take advantage of this fall special from now until 31st October, offering owners special 12% off all prepaid orders, $20 and up on all household items, plus ladies and gents apparel. This offer is good at all our stores. Savannah Countryside, 946-1884. Elgin Avenue, Georgetown, 949-2452. Eastern Avenue, Georgetown, 949-7104. Drive-through, rain or shine. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
Work will soon launch Jobs Cayman, an online system that allows registered users to access job postings created by registered employers. This system offers a better approach to facilitate Caymanians in finding employment and allows employers to search for qualified and skilled Caymanians who are seeking employment. For more information on the registration process and what you need to register, visit www.worc.ky. Work, leading the pursuit of full Caymanian employment and economic prosperity for all through service excellence.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
All right. Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. That was the wonderful voice of one of our guests, Miss Chelsea. And maybe sometimes the discussions during the break are even more insightful. And maybe I'll ask her to dive into that. But Lance Jefferson is going to lead us in the fold as we continue talking about, maybe Lance, the Gamers Bay, video gaming tournament and technology convention, right? I like that part of it. Because maybe when you hear, video gaming, sadly, and I say this to others like me who are older parents who are saying,
I don't want to date myself, but I can relate a little bit to what you're going through.
I know you could. No, but that's the thing, and I'm glad that perhaps through this discussion, Jamo was sharing earlier the notion that you're going to have the workshop tomorrow, the potential for our students to get into engineering or to continue that interest in engineering and eventually explore the artistic side and become the creative that they are. But equally,
you see, at the end of the day, these kids will earn a skill set, and once you have a skill set, that'll position you in the industry. Because at the end of the day, based off of your skill set, the industry needs it.
All right. So. Well, T. Martin, for you younger folks who know him, others, Drifter. I was told my son, no, you can't call him that. You're just not you're young enough and hip enough.
Yeah, cool.
But if I could, from the idea of playing video games, and I go back, John talked about Pac-Man, I even go back earlier than that, and there were video games that no longer there. Shh. But one of my brothers, we got permission for our parents to buy what was then, the latest game, the Atari. And it was a whole lot of money to buy it. But we were allowed to do it. And the Defender, we played that for hours on end.
Atari 2600?
Yeah.
Wait, how'd you know?
Say 48.
No, man.
Centipede.
Centipede. It was fun. It was fun, and it was entertainment. But that was what it was. It was a break. We had to earn the time to be able to get to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But Trevor, today it's more than that. I mean, the drones and the drone racing, the leagues that are there, the battle of bots, the engineering, but also share with us. I mean, how do you get parents and teachers and educators and people to finance scholarships and provide the funding for these programming beyond the technology for the programming languages, as it were, to support it, to be a part of it?
To support it, I think it's just something that's started to come with time. I think there are a lot of universities in the U.S. now that actually offer gaming scholarships for competition, which is cool. That's something totally new. So you've got that. I mean, you mentioned the drone racing league. That's something that's recently popped up on my radar that I wasn't really paying too much attention to, but that's exploding. Obviously, you have the YouTube side of things that Brad and I do. So it's just the technological advancement is just exponentially growing every single year. And there's new industries popping up all over the place, new ways to make it a career, make it, I guess, a hobby first and then turn it into a career. And it seems like there's no slowing it down.
All right. Yeah. So, Brad, if I could ask you, Chelsea, and also, Jessica, from your perspective, the skill sets. And again, I'm trying to talk not just to teachers, but to parents to start to embrace it. A good friend one day, nice job he has regulating the tech sector, comes in and he breaks the news that some young fellow wins $2 million playing a popular game. The parents are talking. Shh, don't call the name. No, how are you going to tell your child you're going to make them want to play those video games? But that's the reality. So from the skill set, you have a nurse, we have a teacher, we have an engineer, and then we're now in this realm where it's real. You're constantly working. You have to utilize all of the skills as you share, plus some.
In my opinion, you need to use all your skills, and you need to be willing.
You
need to use all of your skills, and you need to be willing to plan and prepare and adjust. And things that I learned in engineering, you'd make a design, it was bad. Next iteration would be better. Next iteration would be better. And the false idea that a lot of kids have is, you know what, I'm going to buy this capture card in this computer. I'm going to crack my knuckles. I'm going to sit down and play Fortnite. And you know what, I'm going to be Ninja 2, and I'm going to be a millionaire, and I'm going to buy a mansion, and I'm going to be driving a Lambo. And they'll start, and the first week they have no clue what's going on. And when they're not famous by week 2, they're mad and they quit. And there's a whole graveyard of broken dreams on eBay. Yeah, man. So the trick is to accept that you're not going to be famous and rich overnight, and that there is a lot to learn about everything, and be willing to stick with it for a long time and practice and improve like an iterative design. Just one thing fails, you get better.
So let me ask you, how long did you do YouTube before you got the first paycheck that made sense that it could potentially be a career?
Oh, it was like 2 years.
Mine was 2.5. 2.5 years so I got straight A's all through school. I got a 35 on the ACT. I had academic scholarships to 4 universities around the country, and every day I would wake up around 4 or 5 a.m. I would do YouTube for 3 hours before going to school. I would go to school. I had extracurriculars, NHS, played sports, all kinds of stuff like that, took care of all my grade work. And then after school, probably 8, 9 p.m. when I was home, have dinner, work on YouTube for another 3 hours until midnight. Waking up again at 5 a.m. every single day for months in high school.
No, as I listen to you, a couple of things immediately jump out. The success, you talk about whether you're a football player or some other athlete, or whether you're an aspiring business person, you have to put in the effort. You have to be devoted, dedicated, disciplined. And
there's no overnight success.
Yeah, there is no overnight success.
10,000 hours of practice behind an overnight success.
Right. And then secondly, the idea that you're talking about, in this instance, being academically inclined, being willing to pursue other things. Now, for that parent and for that student who are thinking of this, you're saying 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, right? Of YouTubing, forgive me for the language, right?
Oh, no, that's fine.
But for us who are looking at it going, well, you're in front of a camera or phone or some device doing something. How do we see that and look at that and think, okay, that's a good use of time, because go read a book.
I mean, as with everything, life's about balance. So, I mean, that was always my thing, and that was my mom. I grew up in a single-parent household, and that was just her thing. Like, I had to be out there. I had to have friends. I had to be involved in extracurriculars and sports and take care of my grades. And outside of that, what I wanted to do with my free time was my free time. And that's where I chose to kind of work on YouTube and develop the craft and stuff like that. So I think it's a scary thing, and for a lot of parents it's hard to understand. But, you know, if you can somehow find that balance where you're focusing on the traditional route and making sure that you have a backup plan, but you also chase your dream and see what happens, I think that's fantastic.
What? Lance, not like unlike when you were younger, had hair and you would go in the backyard with the basketball.
Man, you're bringing back so much good memories.
Okay, here the basketball. Which one?
All two, bro.
I'm of the exact same opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that the issue comes down to, Mom, Dad, I want to drop out of school and be a pro gamer. You ever go to school and there's always this one kid in every class, and they don't have to go to class, they don't have to learn anything because I'm going to be a famous rapper. I'm going to move to Hollywood and be an actor. I don't need to learn any of this peasant stuff. You should absolutely never do that. You should always go to school, learn more. I've used everything I've learned. And if you want to cut something out of your life to make time for content, it should be your free time. Play a few less games, work on making them.
That's the thing, you know. Become the entrepreneur, not the employee. Become nurse. Can I say that?
Yes.
The reason why I ask you permission to say is that as you know, as Brad was just sharing, we don't see the importance of education, not just the piece of paper that we hang on the wall to satisfy, you know, parents. Hey, I went to school, I got a degree. Not just the examination that we passed to validate that we are competent, but the knowledge. And as we bring Jessica and Chelsea into the discussion in a second to talk about, say that you're using all these skill sets, your life skills, from you. Going from a nurse to being not just a loving, devoted partner in this, you know, business endeavor, but making sure that there's success, that there's a future, that there is, you know, entertainment for you as well.
I mean, everything takes planning. I mean, it might seem like a lot of things, that, especially since what he does, seems like a lot of it just happens. It's unplanned. But there is a lot of planning involved, and that's something that you learn. When I was a nurse, like basically when I got to the floor that morning, every single morning, I would have a whole sheet that would just basically plan out my entire day. And it would go down to like what meds I had to give, what patients I had to see. And so I took that skill and brought that into planning, you know, what a day goes into. Well, now it's not like as strict. It's pretty loose now, but you you know, you gotta wake up, make content. Today we're gonna, you know, go work out, but after that we're gonna go film some content, you know, in the backyard or something, and then we have to edit it and, you know, make sure everything goes smoothly. Just make sure, like, it just, a lot of things just take some time. And planning.
There's so much elements that go into it.
Yeah.
So it's not just a video in it, and it's not just talking behind the camera, but you also have to have the skills to edit the videos.
Those things you learn.
And that can take time until you get to.
Yeah. Even if we're not writing it down, we'll like lay in bed and talk about, tomorrow we're gonna do this and that, or while we're here, it's like, we're gonna get this shot and this thing with the turtles and the dolphins.
Yeah.
If you see a 20-minute video, there's at least 2 or more hours that went into that, and that's where people don't. That's where the disconnect is they see like, oh, you uploaded 30 minutes of videos today, that you woke up, rolled out of bed, recorded for 30 minutes, and then you were done. You could just go hang out and just roll in all your money. No, there's like hours and hours of planning and editing and research and following trends and staying up with the times and staying ahead of the curve.
Can I host a talk show? You just show up at 2 o'clock and leave at 2. Sorry, was that so? Susan laughs. No, but we can relate to that. But from the perspective of an educator, Chelsea, the planning is there.
Yeah.
The transition, share with us as you wish.
So for me, there are a couple things that Trevor and I have to think about in the content that we create together. One of those is looking at the age group that you're appealing to. So one of the things that we do is have a whole series about our dogs, and that is a much younger age group than what is watching the gaming videos or maybe the travel videos. So we have to look at how we can, A, present it appropriately, and B, what's going to appeal to them. But that's something that we think about across the board, like Drifter and Jessica were saying, when you're sitting planning things. For example, I wake up in the morning. What part of my house needs to be ready for us to film? What do I need to go get from the grocery store? Okay, Trevor wants to make a weird video about milk and cereal. What cereal is going to get the most hits? Like,
I did the same thing. She surprised me with a giant, like 5-pound bag of dehydrated marshmallows. I didn't even know I was getting it. She was like surprised because she knew that I would take that and make something really weird and fun and ultimately profitable with it.
right, but like, okay, we need to get cereal. I'm not going to go get Cheerios. Those are like people. That's not going to catch somebody's eye. So what box, is going to bring the most views or whatever we're thinking about that day. And I also think that another skill set we haven't talked about yet is honestly developing a personality and being able to speak to people. We go into business meetings, we go into events where we have to network, and our brand is us. So if they don't like us, we're not going to get that deal. I'm going to call Trevor out. He's actually pretty shy.
I can see that.
Yeah, he's very shy. So that was something I didn't have a problem with, but it's something that he had to work on when he started, was putting himself in a room and speaking to people.
But that shyness can be monetized and translates as being sincere, as being genuine. Right? And it's once you speak to who you are, I mean, people don't believe I'm a naturally shy guy. You see now, Susan, you've been talking. No, but being reserved is one thing. But again, how do you speak to that brand? And then I'm thinking equally, because it fascinates me. Human behavior. I maybe just for the fun of it, at times just on there about how we are as a society become so consumed with our devices that we walk in and we're no longer talking to people, we're no longer seeing things.
Have you ever this? I don't know what the appropriateness of this. Have you ever needed to use the bathroom really bad and you run to the bathroom and you're like, wait, I need my phone, and you like run back out and get your phone. Like, okay, now I'm finally ready, because everybody has to have the phone all the time, and I'm no better.
But it's this thing that has become part of us now. From that perspective, Joshua, are we conditioned? Are we addicted to it? Is it the expectation? And I want to be careful, because don't wish to be incensed and no disrespectful, but it's almost as if we're always, when I say, even looking for content of some sort. On my show, I want guests who are going to provide some interest for some segment and not lose others. For instance, thank the listener for saying, please give our gratitude to the panel for this very exhilarating and encouraging discussion. Now, I know she's close to my age. No, I was kidding. But, Joshua, from that perspective, I mean, how do we understand that?
I think we always have to be cautious. It doesn't matter what technology or what's out there. It's becoming more commonplace, so it's just our new norms. Should we be worried about it? I think we should take a couple steps back and not be worried about it. We're talking about youth. I mean, from the perspective of esports, okay, so there's universities now that are actually actively having to recruit esports coaches. Full-time professors have to have master's degree to be able to teach in certain areas. But on top of that, I'm actively in investigating that role. If you want to participate in any type of esports league, you have to have a full-time coach. And then depending on the population that you have for your team, you actually have to have an assistant coach, and then you have mentors, and you have other things that go along with that. So the thing, and some of these universities don't have traditional sports programs. So esports, it's a tangible. You can grab that. You just have to, really look at what leagues you want to participate into. So, talking about, is my son or daughter playing too much video games? If we were to take that one group of going into esports, it takes practice. It's just like anything else. It's like developing a muscle. The research goes into the cognitive abilities to play video games is amazing. So I think it's an easy thing for parents, and being a parent myself, it's easy to sit there and kind of, you got to monitor. I mean, it's like, but you also have to be engaged with it too. Going to, if your son or daughter wants to get into esports and wants to go into that niche area, it's just like in the physical games of playing football or basketball or anything else like that. You should participate and reinforce that if that's something that the students really want to do.
I think right now, when it comes to like the NBA teams, I think every NBA team now has
the 2K league.
Yep. So they have an esports representative for each team.
No.
And they get paid.
So there is money in this thing, huh? All right. But Trevor, you and Brad, if I didn't misunderstand, early on you said you knew this is where you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you wanted to do. Just it sounded like you weren't quite sure. Early on, maybe a traditional career might have been yours, and likely Jessica as well, right?
Yeah, I think I just wasn't educated in what it was, to be honest with you. And then when I started, truly having an interest in Trevor, I was like, oh, this guy, he doesn't have a job. I honestly, he picked me up in a nice car, and I was like, okay, he borrowed his dad's car, but he's cute. So yeah, I really had to learn about it and educate myself, and I think that's what I would encourage parents to do as well, because let's be honest, there are kids who are just sitting playing video games because they are just hooked on it. That is true. But if you're monitoring it and you're watching it and your kid has an interest in something and you're helping to develop that and grow it with them, that is where I was like, okay, now I'm on board, because now I can see that this is something that's real.
And then speaking from a parent's perspective as well, when it comes to, especially all these kids are now online, playing online with their friends and stuff, at times I hear my son, he's in his room, he's playing and laughing and having a great time. At the same time, I know that he's playing a lot of video game, but I know that he's in a safe environment. He's being sociable. And at the end of the day, this might be a career if he's passionate enough to pursue it. So at the end of the day, that's where Gamers Bay and the Cayman Islands Esports Association comes into play, because we wanted to open up gateways and create opportunities for our locals and youth here. And hence the reason why we invite guests like Dr. Josh, Chelsea, and Trev, Brad, and Jessica over here, just to showcase that these are real life people who've made it in the industry.
Real life people. Oh,
yeah.
Well, like my friends, huh? So you're telling me. All right. Well, I know some of us as parents probably don't know because of, like me, our children told us who we're talking to. But we do have a call online, and we're talking about the upcoming few minutes more. Lance, I'm imposing you to remind us about it. That Gamers Bay conference. But let's go to our phones for this caller. Hey, good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, I'd like to
yes, sir.
Pick up on something that one of your guests there made.
Yes, sir.
About all this online stuff and so forth and so on. That we shouldn't be concerned about it. But I think we have to be concerned about it, because if it is not processed correctly or guided correctly, you're going to wind up with a bunch of people with no minds. And therefore, you're not going to have any of the so-called, which is not artificial intelligence, come in following it. So I think this thing about don't be concerned about it, I think every parent should be concerned about the number of hours or the amount of time that any of their adolescents and even the adults spend with their eyes, nose glued down into this technology. But technology is only as good as we can maintain it.
For that, sir. Doc, you want to jump in there?
Sure. So I'm gonna spin the time machine a little bit there. So I taught my first class 19 years ago. I was 5 at the time when I taught that class. But 19 years ago, we were talking about technology, and we're talking about honestly, and it's all comes full circle. We talked about VR and the practical applications of VR, and at the time it changed my major to from mechanical engineering into art and design, and it was such a big change. No one really understood where that fit, and where does VR fit, and why are we investing into VR. There were scares at that time that we need to closely monitor where that's going to go. And now here we are 19 years later, and I can't believe that I'm actually down here in the Cayman Islands going to do a workshop on, spatial computing and AR, VR, and the level that it's been tangible for us. And I think should we, I think that word concern has some inflated challenges that go along with that. But I think the word that the caller used, but monitor, I think it comes with anything. We have, nothing is free flowing that we should just let go and not think about. We always have some type of pulse on it, where it's going to go, where it's going to be, talked about artificial intelligence. I mean, it's such a big computing discipline for data. I mean, there's a lot of information and data out there that just it can't be processed without having some of those things there, and it's part of our daily lives. But I think that the challenge is always going to be participating in that process. It should never be self-removed. And it's just like anything else. It's part of our daily life now. And, talking with students and talking with parents that are, looking into these areas of going, even studying computer animation or game design or graphic design or audio production, all the majors that I work with now, there's the concern really comes from parents not understanding because it wasn't commonplace for them. And students now and youth now are having to educate. I mean, my son and daughter are doing the same thing. They're educating me about what's coming up and what they're interested in. And it's really easy to kind of take, to push that back and say, yeah, I don't really see that being a viable option or being concerned. I mean, obviously, you need to be invested in.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to parents, obviously, if you're a part of your child's life, you're gonna watch and you're gonna see what they're participating in. If it's video gaming, you're gonna, or if it's sports, physical sports, you're gonna want to participate. You want to go watch them, see what they're doing. And the same thing goes for gaming. You can give them a little leeway. You have to guide them a little bit. And back to what the caller was saying, yes, you do have to monitor a little bit. But at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for our kids to make a living. Sterling, you mentioned previously about the World Cup of Fortnite.
Don't say that word. Don't say that word.
Just a quick reminder of one of the stories there. One of the runner-ups, I think he was about 16 years old. He won like $1.5 million. 2 weeks before the event, his mom threw away his Xbox. But he was passionate about it, and he went into the tournament with his passion and his competitiveness, and he came in second. And
he probably told his mom, "See, if you had 2 more weeks to practice."
You know what I'm saying?
I guess he was taking out the trash that week.
Yeah.
All right.
But
yeah, man. But after this, when you come back on, talk more about it. John was chatting, previous over the year about some drones, and we'll keep talking about technology and leveraging the opportunities for education. But in closing, the tournament.
Come out this weekend, Fridays or Saturday and Sunday. Saturday it starts from 9 o'clock, and it's going to probably run to about 7 p.m. We're going to have the winners and losers brackets going to be playing with regards to our competition. We'll also have a convention style, so you'll be able to see a lot of the sponsors and the vendors and get to play some of the games and stuff that's out there. Meet some of our guests that we have.
The cosplay going on.
Cosplay is going to be going on, so we want to see the creativity behind the costumes. So it's going to be great, and not to forget the workshop that's going on Thursday, tomorrow. Again, Grace Academy.
I'll reach out to him for you. Don't worry. I made a note. I speak to him for you.
All right.
Well, let's get there.
So with the workshop tomorrow, going out to like, I'm sure there's more than just a caller out there with parents that have concerns and questions. If you have, send those questions with your son or daughter tomorrow. We'll gladly address some of those questions so you can get, some really good first-hand knowledge from us.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Public invitation, Lance. Once this is over, we'll come back, we'll recap, but we'll also continue, and then we'll highlight it for next year as well, and keep it on. Because for me, I'll confess, it's a transition.
Yeah, just before the break, though, I just want to say that we couldn't do any of this without the help of our sponsors, and I probably don't have enough time to shout out all of our sponsors, but we just want to let you know that we're extremely thankful and grateful for all of your support.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys, and enjoy your time here. And on your next visit, because Cayman is like that. You come once and you come a second time, then a third time. Next thing you know, you got PR and you live in Cayman back.
There we go. That's the next step.
Next step. Well, enjoy. And thanks. You've given a perspective that for some of us as parents, maybe we can see a little bit more. The workshop tomorrow, I think, is going to go a long way in understanding the importance of continued investment in it. So it's fun.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Well, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks, Cayman.
All right. And congrats to you guys as well, right?
Thank you.
All right. Lance, we'll talk afterwards, man. All right. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yep. Business Buzz in the morning with Susan. That's what it is. And we got somebody on for the talk today right after the midday news that we're going to talk to you about. Going to get controversial? Probably. Am I going to get fired? Nah. We're civil servants. People get put on leave. You want to know what we're going to be talking about? Well, tomorrow after the midday news. Join us for Talk Today.
After all that talk,